Happy Fun Day, class. So last week did two little short mini lessons on speed and velocity, and then I also showed you a distance versus time or positions versus time graph. So let's go over. Let's refresh that real quick. Okay. So always pay attention to what's on the axes. Okay. In this graph, you have distance or position on the y-axis and time on the x-axis. This is a distance or position time graph, which helps you to calculate speed. So in this type of graph, okay, you can go to any point and so like for instance, I can go here and I can see the distance, which is 1 over the amount of time it took, and I can divide the distance by the time, and that gives me my speed. So in this case, he will be going 1 meter per second. If I did it here, 1.5 divided by 1.5 is 1 meter per second. So also in this graph, if I compare these two students and I ask which student has the greater speed, you would say, oh, it's student A, the red line, because on this type of graph, the steeper the line, the greater the speed. So the reason why the steeper line is because that steep line represents that I'm covering a greater distance over a short amount of time. So this student A will have a greater speed than student B. And remember, also on this type of graph, a distance versus time graph, if you had a horizontal line like coming across here, that will represent no motion at all. It's not moving. Why? Because you're not changing position. You're staying at 1.5. The time is changing, but you're not changing position. Okay? So a horizontal line on this type of graph represents no motion. Now let's talk about acceleration for a second. Okay? And this is just a snippet of notes that I've posted on your Canvas. Okay? Acceleration is simply a change in speed or direction. Okay, that's what it's defined as. So anytime you speed up, slow down, or change directions, you are accelerating. Acceleration is not, I'm going really fast or I'm going really slow. No, because you can be going really fast or really slow at a constant speed, which is not acceleration. Anytime you speed up, slow down, or change directions, you are accelerating. Okay. So let's look at what acceleration looks like on a graph. So remember I told you in the previous slide, okay, pay attention to what's on the axes. So in this graph, the axes is labeled speed. It can also be labeled velocity over time. So the x on this is time, but the y on this is speed. This represents acceleration. This is a speed or velocity versus time graph. Okay. On this type of graph, line A represents speeding up, which is also called positive acceleration. So a upward sloping line on this type of graph represents positive acceleration. A horizontal line on this type of graph, unlike a distance time graph, this horizontal line represents constant speed, meaning you are not changing speeds. You are going the same speed for a certain amount of time. Okay. So on this type of graph, it represents constant speed. And on this type of graph, a downward sloping line represents slowing down, which is also called negative acceleration. If you have any further questions, hop on a Zoom and you can deal with or speak with Coach Mr. Coach Ford. Talk to you soon.